Good evening. Welcome to Washington. I'm Brett Baer. President Trump is promising to turn the nation's grief into action when it comes to guns. And he is continuing to champion the idea of arming teachers and faculty or some trained personnel inside schools. He says bump stocks are, quote, gone, no matter what Congress does. And the president wants to give law enforcement more latitude to take guns away from high-risk people. President Trump talked to the nation's governors today at the White House and said he would have gone into that school and gone after the Florida shooter, weapon or not. Chief White House correspondent John Roberts starts us off tonight from the North Lawn. Good evening, John.
Brett, good evening. President Trump says he wants to change some of the laws regarding gun ownership in the United States, but that when it comes to protecting the nation's schools, the president believes the cheapest and most effective way to do it is to fight fire with fire.
Thank you very much.
In his third major listening session, President Trump met with most of the nation's governors at the White House today, insisting the best way to deter school shootings is to let killers know they won't make it out alive.
The bad guy has to understand that there's a big price to pay when they mess around with our students. They have to know. They walk in, they're going to probably end up dead. And if they know they're going to end up dead, they're not going into that school.
But on his proposal to train and arm qualified members of school faculty and staff, President Trump got pushback from Washington's Democratic Governor Jay Inslee.
I've listened to the first grade teachers that don't want to be pistol packing first grade teachers. I've listened to law enforcement who have said they don't want to have to train teachers as law enforcement agencies, which takes about 6 months. I just suggest we need a little less tweeting here, a little more listening, and let's just take that off the table and move forward.
It's not just Democrats who oppose the idea. Florida's Republican Governor Rick Scott, a staunch supporter of President Trump, says educators should educate. Protecting schools is a job he wants law enforcement to take on.
I'm not waiting for the federal government. We're going to invest $500 million. We're going to have a significant law enforcement presence at every public school in our state.
The White House today wouldn't weigh in on calls for Broward County Sheriff Scott Israel to either step down or be investigated. But President Trump again lashed out at Deputy Scott Peterson and possibly others for not rushing into the school to take on the shooter, saying he would have done it differently.
They weren't exactly Medal of Honor winners, all right? The way they performed was frankly disgusting. I really believe, you don't know until you test it, but I really believe I'd run in there even if I didn't have a weapon. And I think most of the people in this room would have done that too.
President Trump also promised that if Congress doesn't act soon to ban so-called bump stocks used by the shooter in the Las Vegas massacre, he'll do it himself. And while he hasn't mentioned raising the minimum age for buying a rifle for a few days, the president still supports the concept and says he is prepared to go toe-to-toe with the NRA over it.
Don't worry about the NRA. They're on our side. You guys, half of you are so afraid of the NRA. There's nothing to be afraid of. And you know what? If they're not with you, we have to fight them every once in a while. That's okay.
President Trump revealed today that he had lunch yesterday here at the White House with the leadership of the NRA, Wayne LaPierre, and Chris Cox. A spokesperson for the NRA told Fox News a few minutes ago that the leadership has not dropped its opposition to raising the minimum age to buy a rifle, nor will it. Brett?
Some breaking news, John, just confirmed about Hope Hicks.
Yeah, we learned just a little while ago, Brett, that another member of the president's inner circle, Hope Hicks, will be paying a visit to the House Intelligence Committee. She is the communications director here. Of course, she was his spokesperson and communications director all through the campaign. She'll be visiting the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence tomorrow morning. Brett?
Okay, John, thank you. More on that with Catherine Herridge a bit later.